Spoiler up, baby. Also wearing my sweatshirt on backwards too.
Awesome.
Not just backwards. Here it is.
And I
It's
think
train another day right there.
is
I feel weird now that I know it's backwards. So for example, when we build workouts, we do a lot of full body workout. One, so you have better recovery between your workouts. Two, so you don't have to train 5 days a week to hit every muscle group. And number three, so you can work an upper body exercise, then a lower body exercise. So when you're doing your lower body exercise, your upper body is resting. And then we will do some kind of accessory core weakness, whatever we're working on in that thing, and probably potentially super or tricep, all of them. So you're moving. And when you're doing one, the other portion of your body is resting, and then potentially resting between the entire set. Right. Depending on the person, the place, and what's going on. So, I mean, 8 reps is going to be about, you should be doing about 75-ish% of your max. So these should be relatively heavy.
Really significant.
And like if you were doing them solo, you'd be resting, like really 30 seconds rest isn't even what I would program for someone to do that. If you were just doing barbell front squats and you were doing 8 reps, I'd be having people rest anywhere from a minute to 2 minutes probably for them.
Or maybe.
So, yeah, but I mean, but even if you were doing 30 seconds in squats, we're not going to be doing it at 75%, which would be like the 8 rep where we want to be 8 reps. So like load is so important when we're talking about rest, and so is volume. Based on how much volume you're doing, how much weight you're doing, would determine how much rest you're actually doing. So if you're doing more strength-based stuff, like heavier, higher to your 1 rep max, your rest time is going to be longer. You're going to need more time to rest and recover.
And when Ashley says more, still this.
But if we decrease our rest, we're also going to decrease our performance. So if we want to see our performance drop significantly in our workout, all we need to do is rest less. So, but
which is one of just trying to fire through stuff.
Maybe this is something that we also talk about too, because you brought up something about strength training and getting your heart rate up. Strength training isn't really to get your heart rate up. It's mostly anaerobic. An aerobic exercise is what we're using to get your heart rate up. But it's also looking at what's the objective of your workout. And this is where like strength is strength and cardio is cardio. Don't ask me. Well, and also like clients ask about that, like training an extra day. Oh, should I come in a 4th day? And I'm like, no, do cardio. And they're like, oh, well, could I come in for that? I'm like, I, as your coach, do not need to watch you run, walk on a treadmill, row on a rower, ride a bike. Like, it can be it's such a big impactful part of your training plan and like getting through and doing what you want to for your overall health. But like you can just do it. We're talking about rest, and we've totally
this is cardio. This is all rest, like because
bike sprints,
30 seconds hard.
You don't want to be in the weird zone. But in all the research that I've been doing on perimenopause and menopause women and cardiovascular training, and where the biggest bang for your buck is. Zone 2, followed by 1 to 2 sessions of true high-intensity interval training, the whole session taking less than 28 minutes.
Yeah.
Because for women that are dealing with irregular hormones, cortisol, like spiking and dropping and all of that kind of stuff, we know that the high-intensity interval training is going to support that the most to help support that loss of that stubborn belly fat that menopausal women are dealing with. But I also wonder if it like resets something, because it's a blood sugar dysregulation that we see most commonly for women in perimenopause, menopause. Way down. Like right. when I work with clients, and that's like specifically what we're working on, they're like in that state of life, and that's like I would say like 70% of my clients that I work with. I am always a stressor on those are sessions that you earn by managing your stress, managing your sleep, eating really well. You have to earn your right to be able to do them, which sounds really bad, but like there's no better way to say it. Like if you aren't getting a good night's sleep, that's probably not the type of session you can do. Zone 2 would be better. A strength session would be better. And if you are not managing your stress well, or work is really busy or really bad or really rough that week, like you don't want to be adding more wood to the fire when you're already burning everything down. And that's how I see those workouts. One is great. 2 is cool. But like if you're someone that's in that borderline, like you're going to get way more out of a really good quality Zone 2 or a really good strength session than you are putting more stressors on your body until you start managing some of those other stressors. But this is like 3 minutes is like full recovery though.
Yeah. Like, I mean, you should be back to like really drive it high.
And you shouldn't be able to. If you're wearing a belt, and I'll just use my zone because I feel like everyone's the most familiar with the red color. If you can keep your heart rate in the red zone for an entire training session, you're not really in your true red zone. Your heart rate's off. Because I promise you, about a minute in my red zone and I'm about done.
Actually,
More is
sometimes
just more.
can be worse, right?
More is just more. You say that and then I think how discouraged I am that I'm like, oh, squat the same thing this week, but I'm still doing squats this week because there's less change to where I'm at. Oh, right. Stop. All right. Anything else you want to add? Yep. And if you're not sure what that goal should be for your programming and where you're at, that's when you come and talk to us.